Inside the grand heart of Moonbay Whisper 2026, silence was not empty, it was alive. The soft hum of the engines blended with the whispering rhythm of the sea. Every surface reflected the moonlight, every breath felt heavy with calm. The lounge glowed like a dream wrapped in velvet and glass. Amber lights fell gently across the curved leather sofa, golden in tone, melting softly into the shadows. The sea outside glimmered like silver fabric stretched across eternity, and through the panoramic glass walls, the world seemed to breathe. A candle flickered on the marble table. Its flame danced quietly, as if keeping rhythm with the waves. The reflections from the water painted the ceiling above, liquid light moving slowly, soothingly. The air smelled faintly of jasmine and ocean salt. Somewhere, a soft instrumental hum drifted through the speakers, fading in and out like a heartbeat. The lounge opened into a narrow hallway, the moonlit corridor. Every step echoed against the velvet carpet, delicate and lonely. Golden frames lined the walls, their glass catching the faint light that filtered through small round portholes. The ocean's glow touched everything, transforming ordinary space into something sacred. It felt like walking through a dream made of silence and time. At the end of the hallway was the captain's haven, a space alive with blue light and quiet technology. The digital panels glowed faintly, reflecting against the captain's calm eyes. He barely moved as the ship glided through mist outside, every motion measured, every gesture slow. On the console, a brass nameplate read Moonbay Whisper 2026, polished so finely it mirrored the soft reflections of the sea. Behind him, a window framed the distant moon, and its light bled across the floor in silver ribbons. Below deck, the ocean reflection room waited like a secret sanctuary. The floor was made of glass, revealing the glowing ocean beneath. The water shimmered with life, small lights of bioluminescence tracing every ripple. A soft piano melody drifted from an unseen source, matching the heartbeat of the sea below. The guests sat silently on the couch, staring down at the water, their face softened by the light. The sensation was unreal, as if they were floating above stars instead of waves. The night outside pressed gently against the glass walls, and the whole boat seemed to sigh with them. Through a quiet doorway lay the silver dining hall. The moment the door opened, a wash of warm gold filled the senses. A long table made of glass stood in the center, holding silver cutlery that caught the candlelight like diamonds. Crystal glasses shimmered with untouched wine. Outside, the reflection of the moon shimmered across the sea, every wave making the light ripple and bend. The gentle rocking of the boat made the surface of the wine tremble slightly, catching the reflections like liquid art. No one spoke. Even the silence here felt deliberate, beautiful. The whisper chamber was different, smaller, more intimate. It was a space built for dreams. The white silk sheets glowed under the dim golden lamps. Curtains swayed softly with the sea breeze flowing through a half-open window. The scent of ocean mist entered with every breath. The hum of the boat's movement mixed with the soft heartbeat of the guest lying there, eyes half open, watching the curtain move like a ghost of the sea. For a moment, everything felt suspended, neither awake nor asleep, just existing in the quiet rhythm of the night. Above, the observation deck stretched like a cathedral of glass. From the inside, it gave the illusion of floating among stars. A telescope stood near the railing, its metallic body catching reflections of starlight. Through the wide curved glass, the moon appeared enormous, so close it looked touchable. The guest approached the window slowly, watching the faint movement of the waves, the pale reflection of their face beside the moon. For a brief moment, they could not tell where they ended and where the ocean began. Beneath all of this beauty was a hidden place, the lounge below deck, the secret heart of Moonbay Whisper 2026. Blue LED lines traced the shape of the room, outlining seats, shelves, and the smooth curve of the ceiling. The music here was soft jazz, a gentle rhythm that rolled like waves. The mirrored ceiling reflected the blue lights like underwater constellations. Each reflection seemed endless, like falling into another ocean made entirely of light. It was the kind of beauty that made silence addictive. A narrow stairway led to the gallery of memories. It was smaller, lined with warm light, filled with old maps and framed photographs. Each picture showed a fragment of past voyages, cities seen from the water, storms survived, sunrises captured from the deck. In the center hung a golden plaque engraved with the words Moonbay Whisper 2026. The brass shone like firelight, glowing against the soft wood. The air here was heavier, filled with nostalgia. You could feel the weight of all the moments this ship had carried, laughter, solitude, peace. And finally, the eternal window. A single glass wall, framing nothing but the endless moonlit sea. No furniture, no sound, just the sea and the light. The guest stood there alone, the reflection of the moon shimmering across their face. The ocean outside was vast, moving like a slow heartbeat. The silence was so complete it felt sacred. They whispered softly, "This is where silence speaks." Outside, the waves brushed against the hull. The moon hung higher now, glowing like a guardian. Inside the boat, every room breathed softly, every light pulsed faintly as if alive. The boat drifted on, no destination, no rush. Just the journey, infinite and quiet. The air grew cooler. Somewhere in the lounge, the candle had melted down to its base, its flame finally surrendering to darkness. The light outside softened to gray, and the mist began to lift. The guest still stood before the eternal window, eyes tracing the horizon. There was a stillness in their chest, a deep peace that only the sea could give. The engines slowed until they were only a vibration underfoot. Outside, dawn began to touch the water, faint streaks of lavender mixing with the moon's silver glow. The transition was slow, unhurried, beautiful. It was as though the night itself didn't want to let go. Inside, the Moonbay Whisper 2026 remained alive with quiet grace. The corridors whispered softly, the lights dimmed as if bowing to the coming sun. The boat seemed to breathe, like it understood what it meant to drift between dreams and morning. The guest whispered one last time, "Thank you," and turned away from the window. Behind them, the moon began to fade. The boat moved forward, silently, gently. The ocean opened ahead like a path made of light. The horizon was fading into light. The waves had softened, glowing with the last reflections of the moon. Moonbay Whisper 2026 drifted quietly, like a dream that refused to end. The ocean stretched endlessly in every direction, silver turning slowly into gold. The wind carried the scent of dawn, salt, warmth, and peace. Inside, every room had fallen silent. The candles had melted down, the music had stopped, but the heartbeat of the ship still pulsed softly through the floor. The guest walked slowly through the corridor one last time, the velvet carpet underfoot, the walls now glowing faintly from the rising sun. The glass walls of the lounge shimmered like mirrors of firelight. The sea outside looked alive, whispering its farewell. They reached the deck, where the sky was now a soft blend of silver and rose. The name Moonbay Whisper 2026 glowed faintly on the hull, kissed by sunlight for the first time. The water moved gently, like it was breathing with the ship. The guest placed a hand on the railing and closed their eyes. The whisper of the sea wrapped around them, calm, eternal, forgiving. The engines stopped. The sound disappeared. All that remained was the endless sound of water against the hull. The guest smiled faintly, looking toward the horizon where the moon faded and the sun took its place. The journey was over, but the whisper remained. Somewhere in the distance, the ocean carried that whisper, soft, endless, unforgettable. The Moonbay Whisper 2026 drifted slowly toward the light, vanishing into the morning mist, leaving behind only silence and the memory of a dream.